What up, YouTube? I'm back. So I wasn't there last week because of personal reason, but last week's episode was pretty good. It wasn't as good as I thought it would be because it was Kirito versus Prince of Hell. He was the leader of the Laughing Coughing Guild, in the first season of Sword Art Online. So I thought the animation could have been better, but I'm guessing that they kept their resources for this week's episode, you know what I mean? So let's get right to it, man, because this week's episode was something else. So obviously this was probably the climax of the series of the season, because it was finally Kirito versus the final boss, so that was quite something. But before we talk about the fight, we need to talk about what happened before, when Gabriel catched up to Alice. He kind of killed Alice's dragons, and when Kirito arrived on the scene, he actually saved the dragons. He reversed them to when they were child. They looked like Pokemon, and then to eggs. So that was kind of interesting that Kirito has all that power inside of him. So that was kind of crazy. But anyway, man, obviously Alice and Azuna went to the world altar, to log out of the underworld, and they had, I think, 15 minutes before the world evolved for 200 years. So that's a lot, for the human mind and body. So they had only 15 minutes to log out of the underworld. So that was kind of crazy. But anyway, Kirito fought against Gabriel. Kirito had the fairy wings, and then Gabriel had like dragon-like wings. So that was kind of crazy. But something that I wanted to say is that Gabriel as a villain is pretty weird. He had this form right there of evil. It was kind of weird. He's one of the weirdest villain that I've ever seen in an anime, because we don't really know what he is and what he wanted. He wants souls, but at the same time, his goals is it's pretty weird, man. We don't know a lot about him, so I'm wondering if we'll get some more information in next episodes, but we'll have to see, because he's a pretty weird villain. But at first, even when he didn't transform, he was kind of kicking Kirito's ass, but yeah, man, he's a weird ass villain. Because of how strong Gabriel was, Kirito needed help from, his sister, from all of the people in the underworld, and it was kind of like a spirit bomb, which was pretty cool, because this visual right there is just amazing. It's night with all the colors, the stars. I thought it was pretty great, man. It was a really cool shot, one of my favorite shot of the episode. But we also got that shot where Alice was looking back at Kirito, while he was fighting Gabriel, and while all this energy from other people in the underworld was given to him, and she said something pretty interesting. She wanted to say something to Kirito, and I'm guessing it's "I love you" or something like that, because they have a pretty good relationship. They have a huge relationship. So I'm wondering what she wanted to tell Kirito. But while she was looking back, she also gave some of her energy. Same for Azuna, so it was crazy, man. This is one of the craziest form that I've seen in the Sword Art Online series. That's what all the energy of the people gave Kirito in the underworld. So that's why I said it's like a spirit bomb. Because he was given all the energy from the people. It was kind of like Future Trunks in the Goku Black arc, when the people was giving him energy, and then he had a new Super Saiyan form. It was it kind of reminded me of that. But yeah, man, it was a crazy ass scene. When Kirito was going for the final blow, we saw some characters beside him, and I thought that was pretty interesting, because we saw two of the characters that we were introduced to at the beginning of the season. They were part of the Dark Forces, but they didn't agree with Lord Vector, aka Gabriel. So they was basically saying to attack him with that murder intent. And then we also saw Berkuli and obviously the Pontifex. So that was pretty cool. They both talked, and I thought it was pretty cool, man. These four characters were pretty important, and I liked all four characters, you know, so it was pretty cool. Obviously, Kirito's last attack was Starbust Stream, you know, and obviously we all saw this attack the first time in the first season of Sword Art Online, you know. It was his most powerful attack, and I thought it was rewarding that they made his final attack against his final opponent, Starbust Stream, you know, and he was going to lose even though he used this attack if it wasn't for Yu-Gi-Oh that appeared to protect him, you know. So it was something else, man. This last scene with Kirito and Yu-Gi-Oh basically defeating Gabriel, you know, it was something else, man. This season, this arc of Sword Art Online was the best arc of all arcs in the anime so far, and for a lot of reasons, you know, the emotional attachment to characters like Yu-Gi-Oh and Alice, and you know, they did a great job, and they did a really great job of showing us and making us love the characters that were introduced to us in this arc. But yeah, man, if it wasn't for Yu-Gi-Oh, I don't know what would have happened. But you know, they defeated Gabriel. I still don't know who he really is, you know, as a character. But hopefully, we'll know more about him in the next few episodes. But anyway, man, when Kirito went to the World Altar, you know, he thought that Alice and Azuna logged out, because we saw Alice being logged out. We saw, you know, the other people, Kirito's friends, being logged out, like Klein, you know. And when he arrived, he thought he was going to be alone for 200 years. And then in front of him, there was Azuna, you know. So I'm guessing that she stayed because she knew that he wouldn't have made it in time. And now they're going to live 200 years in the underworld together, you know. So that's kind of crazy, and I can't wait to see what's coming next in next week's episode, you know, because yeah, man, the story began with these two, you know. So we'll have to see what's gonna happen. But let me know what you thought about this week's episode in the comments down below. Let me know what you think is gonna happen next. I can't wait for next week. It was a great ass episode. I didn't think it was the greatest fight of Sword Art Online. I still think that Berkuli versus Lord Vecta was better. You know, it was my favorite fight, one of my favorite fight of the series. So we'll see. But yeah, man, it was a great episode. I really liked the end when Kirito saw Azuna, you know, and when Azuna saw Kirito, it was great. But yeah, man, I do Sword Art Online Alicization War of Underworld reviews every Saturday, so subscribe for that. But I also do One Piece reviews on Saturday nights. I usually do Boruto Naruto Next Generation reviews on Sunday morning, and then I do God of High School reviews on Monday at noon. So stay tuned for all of that. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. It would help my channel a lot. And follow me at Anime Specialist on Twitter and Instagram. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Anime Specialist out. Peace.